Okay, it's Kay in front of the camera, well, my hands anyway, and Maggie's behind.
Hello.
Okay, and we're going to attempt to put a memory box with drawer together. Okay, so we're going to do it properly this time. So this is the lid, so you get the bigger piece and you get the smaller piece, and you've got the holes, and the idea is that they match up and it's equal distance all the way around, so it just acts like a little lid, goes on top of your memory box. So I'm going to stick that together now, and I'm using a good PVA. I use a sticky PVA because I quite like it, but you can use our bookbinding glue, you can use a good wood glue, or whatever you'll feel comfortable in. But I like having a sticky one because it just sort of grabs it. So what I'm going to do is push this across here, and then I'm going to line this up so that the holes line up here, and you've got equal distance all the way around. And just squidge it down. So that's square all the way around. The holes still line up. I'm going to move it to set the glue to set, hopefully without moving it. Okay, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Then I'm going to put my drawer together.
This should be interesting.
So, right, so the drawers fit in one way only, but it is quite tight. So if you can notice, that has got quite a lot of give, so that is not in the right place. Okay, so we'll try another one. Okay, and that fits with a bit more give. So they shouldn't. So that should be fine, actually. That one.
That one's fine.
Yeah, that one's fine. It's not. It's just enough to give you some room, and then that will be opposite. So I tend to lay them out like that. So that fits like that, and that fits like that. If you try and put this one on this side, you'll find it doesn't quite fit. So don't force it. Can you see that all right, Maggie?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So what we do now is lay it out like that, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue it. So before I glue it, and to make sure I don't turn it 90 degrees like I have done before, is there's a hole here. This is your door front. Front. So if I just put a little dot there, then I know that they'll be the matching up.
And also, when you're lining up your sides, if you look at the ends of the side pieces, two have got the bits sticking out.
Sticky out bits.
So they'll be opposite each other, and the other two have got bits chopped out.
Innie bits.
Innie bits.
And go that way. Okay.
So it's in is opposite innie and out is opposite outie.
Okay, and that's obviously the technical term we use for that. Right. Yes. So okay. So I'm going to put glue just around all these sides, using my woodpecker technique. It does a bit too much glue. I won't put quite so much on. It's coming out a bit faster than I anticipated.
Actually, I think the nozzle's been snipped quite large. That might have been me.
So I'll keep them quiet on that point.
Mrs. Impatient.
Okay, so this is probably about as much as you need. You don't need vast amounts of it, but you do need enough, obviously, to stick.
We've got this glue, haven't we, Kay, on the website?
Yep. In this handy size as well.
I actually like that size because I find it easier to manage.
Right, so I was going to put it like that, but I won't do now because I've got my dot there now. So I know that I need to put it like that. So I'm going to just put the glue around all the other bits, so on the inside bits and on the edges. And I'm going to put the glue on first and I'll stick the whole lot together. I tend to find that works better.
And it's such good glue, it's still very tacky, isn't it, Kay?
Yeah, so you've got to work reasonably quickly, but you can got a little bit of play time. Okay. And then so now put everything together. So I'm going to put dot to dot, and then this one goes on like that, and that fits in like that, and that fits in. Whoops! Let's get that in position like that. And my able assistant is going to help.
And be your friend now.
So you'd be a friend. Hold on. If I can get this together, that's it. So I've got loads of glue on here, so it's far too much. But however, that's just in the right place. Okay. So can you got your hands there?
Yeah.
Okay. So it does help if you put an elastic band over it, just to keep it in place, and it does work easier with two people for this one. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure everything's nice and squared up. If I move on, And I'm going to have wipe the table in a minute because I made a complete mess of it. Okay, so that is now your door front. So I just putting that dot on there. It means that you don't twist it around 90 degrees.
Can't see the dot your fingers in there.
Like that. Okay? Yeah. So it just lines up. So that's it. So that now goes off to be
set.
To set. Right, so obviously I'll mess around with the glue on here. So that's your shelf. And it's going to fit into these pieces here. So just, if they've got an extra piece in there, just take that out. Now this is your back piece. I know it's a back piece because it's got 2 inners and 2 outers on each side. So that fits that side. And this is one side. So that goes to the back and that goes to the front. And the straight piece is the top piece. So it fits in like that. Okay, this one's the smaller piece is the front piece. So that goes at the front. And this bit, obviously, that goes towards the back. And that goes to the front, like so. So again, we're going to glue. I'm going to glue around the edges of all these, and then I'll put the shelf together. So I'll just do the gluing first.
We've got to say the reason why the drawer sides are different as well is because the drawer isn't square, because it's been designed to fit inside the box, which is square.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, but it's Maggie sense. So I'm going to put this glue on. I must admit, this is the most tedious part to watch. Just putting glue on.
Instead of watching paint dry, it's watching glue. But you do it so beautifully, Kay.
Yeah, so that's obviously what I do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put my back piece flat down. I'm going to put my glue on my
Just bring it down.
shelf.
That's it.
Okay, so I'm going to put glue around the shelf. We could be playing our lovely music to this, couldn't we?
We will play our lovely music to this.
Okay, so that fits it into that. So this side comes up, and I've got my front piece. Have I got the wrong way around?
No, you just want to turn it around because you want your straight. You always want your straight edges.
Yes, that's
at the
straight.
top.
Yes, that's straight. So that fits into this side. I'll just move them around the other way. That's all. No, let's attempt to do this correctly, shall we? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
right.
that was right in the first place. Okay, obviously guessing myself there. There you go. And that fits in that easily like that.
You're just amusing people. And thank you to Paul
you.
Ford, who said, "Oh, it looks so easy to put together."
Yeah, thank you.
It is. Trust me, it is easy.
It is easy to put together if you haven't got somebody second guessing yourself all the time. Right, okay. So obviously you've got a straight bit in front of you because you're looking at the top. Oh, I've got glue on my hands now. And that just slots into that, like that. And that fits in just over the top, like that. So
And it is precision cut, so it will all slot in beautifully.
it will slot it. There we go. There we go. So that fits in like that. So just make sure that's nice and square up. Then we just move that across like that, and then we're going to put the base on.
Not stuck at the bottom, Kay, near you.
So
A bit wonky.
that's it. Okay, and we'll just square that up anyway, but that's fine. That's now. So now, do the woodpeckery technique, and just do the bottom. And obviously, because you've got the holes on 3 sides, so that's the front. So what we'll do is just put that on at the front. Just wiggle it around till it just fits in, like so. It's always one second. There we go. So that fits in like that. So you just move your box around, so make sure everything's nice and square, and you can put your rubber band on here, because my friend's disappearing off to get the rubber band, and that just keeps everything nice and square and in place. So we'll just do that. Okay, ready?
Excuse me. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oops.
Ah, sorry.
Okay,
That's it.
square that. And that will be fine. And that's basically that way round. Okay, so we'll leave that to go one side, and I'm going to put the buttons on. I'll try it on the top. That should be stuck really firmly now. Okay, so I've still managed to keep my hole. I'm not quite sure if you can see that, but there is a hole and they match up, and I've actually managed to keep them together. Okay.
Come towards me a bit. That way. I've lost the hole. That's it.
Were.
Where, Mrs.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we're going to put the buttons on. Right, so you've got a larger one for your top with a larger washer, and these two are the same. So you've got a back one here. You've got the smaller one is for the drawer front. Again, you've got your backing button, and you've got a slightly smaller washer for your for drawer front. So move those out of the way for the minute. You can, if you want to, stick these on here, but I will do that after I've strung it up. I'm afraid, sorry, my hands are full of glue, but never mind. Okay, so I'll do that in a little while, but you can stick them together if you want to, but I wouldn't do it just yet. So, what you're going to do is push through from your, this is how I do it. If you find an easier way of doing it, then do it that way, your way. So I'll just pull that through like that. So that's going to be on the bottom of the inner. And so I need something to tie it with, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put that piece of thread there and use a bit of tape. It's probably a bit too much, but I'll put a bit of tape there so it doesn't move and I don't lose it.
So you'd use a strong thread, like a linen thread or
yeah,
upholstery thread?
yes, anything like that. So that pokes through that hole. Okay. If you've got a finer thread or anything, it's a bit flimsy, use a needle for this bit. Then it goes through your washer. It goes through the back of your button. Obviously you've decorated this beforehand, so this is the last thing you put on, so this is after you've decorated it. Okay, and it goes through the button that way. So then it goes through the hole, back through the hole. So you put it around so you can find the end of the hole. Oops.
Come this way a bit.
Okay. So you've got all your bits like that. So at this point, if you want to, you can glue it. So you put a little bit of glue that side and that side, and when you close it, pull it tight, it will keep. So you've got your spacer there, so you can hold up with your fingers.
Perfect.
Okay. So then what you do is take the piece of tape off. I went a bit overboard with the tape. There you go. So take the tape off, and then you tie it into a knot at this point, and then pull it tight. And then just snip it close to the thing, and it just slides in underneath the button, and it gives you a nice neat finish. So obviously you've got a bit sharper scissors, as fine as scissors, you can do that. So it's got a nice finish there, and you've got your button here.
And your button's not going to come off?
No, that's fine. You're nice and secure because you've tied it in place, so it's nice and secure, and it keeps still if you put a bit of glue on it. Okay, and you do exactly the same for your drawer front. Would you like me to do that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to move, because it's not fully stuck, I'm just going to move that down a bit. Okay, hopefully it's not going to fall to pieces. So do exactly the same again. So this time we're going to do your button. Looks like my eczema's back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so put that through there and thread back. So this is how I do it. There must be another way of doing it. So if you find it easier, then do that. So you've got half and half there. So what you do now is a little bit, slightly smaller piece of tape this time. But if you just put a little bit of sellotape or masking tape on it, it stops it pulling through. So hopefully, is it going to do that? So it's not going to stick now, is it? There we go. Okay, it's just enough to stop it going through. So that goes through this side. So you poke that through.
Towards you.
So that pokes through there. Okay, and through your washer. through your button, down from the back, back down again, through, okay, back through your washer, and back through the hole. Okay. And again, if you wanted to put a little bit of glue on this point, you can do. A bit more secure. Okay. And then that pulls tight. And then take your tape off. And then tie your thread and give it a good knot. And if you've got a pair of embroidery scissors, that would be helpful because you can just get right in there and give it a nice little nip. Nice and that is how you put your button on.
So can you show it? Right, shut that way we can see, and now towards me. Perfect.
And that will fit in here. I'm not quite sure if it'll fit on with the rubber band, we'll see. Might do, because you have given it enough room, so if you wanted to put, yes it does. So if you wanted to put paper around it to decorate it, you can.
Yeah,
so it's a tight fit with the rubber band on it, but that's how it fits in. Okay, so that is your memory box with drawer.
Beautiful. Fab
Okay.
demo. Thank you very much.
That's all right.